in classical music, we find Krishna everywhere in every kind of composition, be it classical, be it semi-classical.
Sham Rang, celebrating the legend of Lord Shri Krishna, is happening on the 23rd of August. That's Friday at the Experimental Theatre, 6:30 p.m. That's the highlight of this week at the NCPA. It's supported by the Rukmani and Kishan Daya Foundation. So many thanks from the NCPA to our supporters, Rukmani and Kishan Daya Foundation. With me today is somebody who's has so many achievements that it would take an entire show for me to elaborate on them. Sawani Shende Sathaye hails from a musically trained family. She was mentored by her grandmother Kusum Shindeji, her father Dr. Sanjeev Shindeji, and Dr. Veena Sahasrabudhe, the well-known exponent of Gwalior Gharana. Besides being recognized for her aesthetical portrayal of rag in pure classical tradition, she also displays equal skill in presenting semi-classical and light music genres, including some devotional forms. Everybody talks about Sawani's clarity of diction and overall sensitivity. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Whenever we talk of Sham or Lord Shri Krishna, we
Yes.
think of Lord Shri Krishna's ardent devotees, which would
Yeah.
be Radha, which would be Meera. I want to understand, on that evening's presentation, what are the musical forms you will be featuring, and also in whose voice you will pour out these musical renditions.
Yeah. It's going to be one of its kind program, because it's really going to be very unique in the sense that Krishna is all over in, I mean, like in classical music, we find Krishna everywhere in every kind of composition, be it classical, be it semi-classical. We have um, the presence of Krishna everywhere, whether it's along with Radha in some contexts, or with Mirabai, or with general Savaria as a generalization. Krishna is there in every composition. So it's very hard to pick. It's when you have ample choice, it's a difficult task again to choose which form of Krishna to actually portray. And so I have chosen many ragas initially, which I'll be presenting. um, Ragas where we have compositions in typical classical style, where the Savara, yeah, Mohan, Manamohan is the central idea. And then the program will proceed to semi-classical genres, and also a typical light music genre, which is actually, I don't, usually sing typical light forms in my mehfils, which are purely classical based. Of course, semi-classical is a vital part of such concerts, but yes, a Marathi ghazal, which will also be a part of this program. That's the uniqueness. This time, along with a synthesizer, because semi-classical genres, um, in accompaniment with a synthesizer, just to enhance the musical beauty, would be something to look forward to.
So you're saying that there will be songs that Radha sings to him,
Yes,
Meera sings to him, all
Mira.
these wonderful
Yeah,
devotees.
yeah,
Also, a lot is made out of Sham or Lord Shri Krishna's romantic exploits, but the fact that there are so many compositions also dedicated to the devotional and philosophical thoughts
yeah.
associated with Sham, associated with Lord Shri Krishna. Will you be dwelling on that too?
Yes, there's one more aspect to this. I have composed a very unique Bandish, you may say, or Rachna, which has Yashoda telling Krishna not to go outside in the rain.
Wow.
Yashoda is pleading Bal Krishna to, stay at home, stay safe at home, don't go out in the pouring rain. Uh, just listen to me once, Dhita Langarava. So I know that you are brave enough. You call yourself Dhita Langarava, lekin मैं एक माँ हूँ, so I'm a mother. It's my duty to protect you. So this has its own innocence, and Yashoda is not always portrayed in Sham Rang anywhere. So I was to portray her feelings in a composition. So it's very nice.
You know, your career is remarkable because you started at the age of 10, Sawani. And if I look at your training, there is the Kirana and the Gwalior Gharana.
Yeah,
And of course, you know, you have mastered khayals, and the confidence with which you sing khayals is also noted by everybody. It's a
yeah.
very difficult question, but what do you most enjoy singing?
Classical, Indian classical music. Yeah, because I think my soul, it's happy there more. I do listen to every type of music which is pure and, authentic. But yes, I like to pursue classical music from the bottom of my heart. Also, I'm a great fan of our Hindi music, also the typical Bollywood stuff, also because it offers a lot. Even the folk music that India offers. And so, yes, a big fan of Tina Turner. On the other hand, we had an album together. So that was something. So I'm open to all genres of music, but still, I find peace in Indian classical music. Yeah,
Was the album with Tina Turner The Awakening Beyond or Beyond Love Within? One of those
that's right. Both of
albums.
them. Both
Both of
of
them.
them.
Wonderful. It's so
Yeah.
amazing that you have taken your voice to international territories also.
Thank you.
I'm very curious to know a Marathi ghazal. Did you
Mm-hmm.
grow up listening to Jagjit Singh ji? Did you grow up listening to
Yes.
Pankaj Udas, the late
They could.
masters?
Yes, that has been a part of my musical grooming, that we were made to listen to all types of good music as such. So whether it's Lata ji, Asha ji, or Mehdi Hasan Saab, or Ghulam Ali, Jagjit Singh. So everything that is beautiful, that is soothing, that offers you a soul, it's mesmerizing, that stirs your soul. Yeah, that you should listen is what my gurus have been telling me right from childhood. So ghazals, yes, I'm fond of literature a lot, whether it's Marathi, Urdu, Hindi. I was exposed to it right from my childhood. So yes, ghazals. I love ghazals, and there's a different style altogether to render ghazals. It has a base of classical, but you should also be, um, you know, very mindful of the words that you're going to portray through your singing. So yeah, ghazals. I love ghazals.
Full respect to your teachers, to your parents, to your family, who, despite being so soaked in the classical tradition,
Yeah.
allowed you to explore other territories. I know so many friends of mine who are from the classical traditions, whose gurus and sometimes their own family looks down upon other forms of music. It's so nice that you would say that every form of music is beautiful and one
Yeah,
needs to
yeah, yeah.
appreciate that.
That's a very nice sanskar in our family. That listen to everything that is good and try to imbibe those values in your style. So you should be open to ideas, but also while doing so, uh, don't let it hamper the discipline that you follow. So anything that fits into the discipline yet is entertaining, yes, that's allowed.
Lovely. Tickets are available now at Book My Show as well as at the venue at the box office of the National Centre of Performing Arts. Experimental Theatre, 6:30 p.m. Friday, August the 23rd. It's Sham Rang, celebrating the legend of Lord Shri Krishna, Sawani Shende Sathaye and group. My last question is your experiences of performing at the NCPA. You have been an artist for so many decades that I'm sure you must have had a few
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah,
If you could recount to me what is special about NCPA, whether you performed at Tata Theatre or
yeah,
Experimental or
yeah,
Jamshed
yeah,
Baba, anything you
yeah.
could recount.
Of course, of course. NCPA is like, it's a dream. Every artist dreams of performing at the NCPA because it has such a beautiful legacy. And of course, it's a very prestigious institution that portrays good and authentic music. That's what we always look forward to, because whether it's the Tata Theatre or the Experimental Theatre, a cream crowd is always expected of NCPA. Good listeners. And when I say good listeners, it means that they listen to classical so well, At the same time, if you're going to experiment something, they are open to that also. So they enjoy classical, semi classical, the devotional stuff also, and anything new that you offer them on the platter. So NCPA is always a very prestigious thing for me, and I'm fortunate that I've sung there a number of times, and once again for Sham Rang.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and have a great concert. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
Hrishi. My pleasure.
Actually, in the orchestra, because it's an international orchestra, it's actually I look more Indian than most of the orchestra, I think, but I'm not very Indian, so people think I'm Indian and speaks to me.
Maria, you've worked before with the Symphony Orchestra of India, but it's not often that they are conducted by the maestro Zubin Mehta himself. So what kind of preparations did you have for this crew of incredible musicians who arrive from all over the world?
First of all, it was something we planned actually only three weeks before I got here, which means it's not much time to have for scores like this. So what I did was obviously to listen to the previous recordings, what Zubin did. And he's incredibly alert. He knows exactly what he's doing all the time. He's a really, really good conductor. And he knows the psychology of the orchestra very well. He knows exactly when to in the orchestras and on the podium. And I've seen Zubin as a path breaker, It's like, it actually means something. I also
Radio 1.